The first sign something was wrong came from a lipstick stain. Not on his collar, that would have been too cliché. No, this one was on a crumpled receipt from the Grand Hotel that fell from Christian's jacket pocket while I was doing laundry. Room 412, paid in cash. The date was last Tuesday, when he'd claimed to be at a business conference in Seattle. I'm Shiloh, and until that moment, I thought I had the perfect life. Successful business with my husband, a beautiful home in Portland, and a sister who was my best friend. Funny how one small piece of paper can shatter everything you believe in. Alan, has Christian been in today? I asked our operations manager when I arrived at the office that morning, trying to keep my voice steady. No, he called in sick, said something about food poisoning. Alan shuffled uncomfortably, not meeting my eyes. Shiloh, there's something you should. My phone buzzed. A text from my sister Kaya. Need to talk. Emergency. Meet me at Cedar's Coffee in 20? The coffee shop was our special place. We'd been meeting there every Wednesday morning since she moved to Portland 5 years ago. But this was Monday, and something in my gut told me this wasn't about her wanting an extra sister chat. Cedar's was quiet when I arrived. Kaya sat in our usual corner booth, wearing oversized sunglasses despite the gloomy weather. Her hands trembled as she clutched her untouched latte. I can't do this anymore, she blurted out before I could even sit down. The guilt is eating me alive. What guilt, Kaya? She took off her sunglasses, revealing red-rimmed eyes. Christian and we've been seeing each other for 8 months now. The words hit like a physical blow. 8 months? We never meant for it to happen. It just did. We're in love, Shiloh. Really in love. I laughed. I couldn't help it. The absurdity of my sister using the word love to justify destroying my marriage was too much. Where is he now? My voice sounded strange, distant. Packing. We're leaving today, moving to Chicago. He's already accepted a position there. The business. He's selling his share to Marcus Reynolds. The paperwork's already done. The coffee shop suddenly felt too small, too hot. Does Mom know? No one knows except you, now. Kaya reached for my hand. I pulled away. We wanted to tell you face to face. We owe you that much. How generous of you. Shiloh, please. Don't. I stood up, my chair scraping loudly against the floor. Just don't. I drove straight to the office, hands shaking on the steering wheel. Alan was waiting by my parking spot, holding a thick folder. I've been trying to tell you, he said, following me inside. Christian's been making moves behind your back, but he made a mistake. I collapsed into my office chair. What mistake? Remember last year when you inherited that money from your aunt? The money you invested in the business. I nodded. Christian had handled all the paperwork. I'd trusted him completely. Well, he listed you as sole proprietor instead of adding his name to the ownership documents. Probably thought he could change it later without you noticing. But he never did. What are you saying? The business is yours, Shiloh. All of it. Legally, he can't sell anything to anyone. My phone buzzed again. Christian, I'm sorry you had to find out this way. The house is yours. Consider it a parting gift. We'll be gone by tonight. I looked up at Alan, who'd been more loyal than my own blood. Call our lawyer, now. Already did. She's on her way. I picked up the photo on my desk. Me, Christian, and Kaya at last year's Christmas party. We were all smiling, all lying. I dropped it in the trash. They think they're about to start their new life, I said, my voice steady for the first time that day. But they have no idea what's coming. Alan smiled grimly. What do you want to do first? I opened my laptop, fingers hovering over the keyboard. Everything. I want to do everything they thought I couldn't do without them. And I want to do it better. The day wasn't over yet, and already my life had imploded. But sitting there with Alan's unwavering support and the knowledge that I owned what Christian thought he was abandoning, I felt something unexpected. Freedom. My phone buzzed one last time. Mom, honey, are you okay? Kaya just called me crying about moving to Chicago. What's going on? I took a deep breath. The real work was about to begin. 3 weeks after they left, I was still finding traces of their betrayal everywhere. A forgotten earring of Kaya's under the couch. Christian's favorite coffee mug in the back of the cupboard. Each discovery felt like reopening a wound, but I refused to let it break me. These projections are impressive, Alan said, spreading documents across my desk. Christian was sitting on potential gold mines and doing nothing with them. Show me everything. We spent hours going through files, uncovering opportunities Christian had overlooked or deliberately ignored. The business, a software solutions company, had been coasting on outdated products while our competitors innovated. Look at this, Alan pointed to a dusty folder labeled Project Phoenix. It's a development plan from 2 years ago. Christian shut it down, said it was too risky. I flipped through the pages, my excitement growing. This is exactly what the healthcare sector needs right now. Why would he? Because he was planning his exit, Alan said quietly. Success would have meant staying committed to the company longer. My phone rang. Mom again. I'd been avoiding her calls, but I couldn't hide forever. Honey, please talk to me, she pleaded. I've left dozens of messages. I'm working, Mom. You're always working now. Come over for dinner tonight, please. I glanced at the mountain of work on my desk. I can't. Shiloh, Alan interrupted. Go. The work will still be here tomorrow. 2 hours later, I sat in Mom's familiar kitchen, the smell of her lasagna filling the air. She placed a glass of wine in front of me and sat down. Talk to me, baby. The whole story spilled out. The receipt, the coffee shop confession, the business ownership. Mom listened without interrupting, her face growing darker with each detail. I'll never speak to her again, she declared when I finished. Either of them. Mom, don't. They're dead to me. You're my daughter, and they hurt you. I need you to stay neutral, I said, surprising myself, because I'm about to make some big moves, and I don't want anyone to say I turned you against them. The next morning, my best friend Esme burst into my office, coffee in hand. I just heard from Sarah, who heard from Mike, that Christian's new job fell through. What? Apparently, the Chicago company withdrew their offer. Something about due diligence revealing issues. I smiled slightly. Alan had been busy making calls. Good, Esme declared. Now tell me about this Project Phoenix. Alan filled me in. I pulled out the folder. It's a healthcare management system that could revolutionize how smaller clinics handle patient data. Christian thought it was too ambitious, but you're not Christian, Esme finished. My consulting firm has contacts in healthcare. Let me make some calls. By the end of the week, we had our first meeting with potential investors. I walked into the boardroom wearing the power suit I'd bought the day after they left, my confidence growing with each step. Ms. Shiloh, the lead investor, greeted me. Your proposal is intriguing. But why now? Why hasn't your company pursued this before? Because sometimes you need a fresh perspective to see old opportunities, I replied. We've been playing it safe for too long. It's time to take calculated risks. The meeting lasted 2 hours. When they left, we had preliminary approval for funding. Holy shit, Alan whispered. They're actually going for it. They're going for it because it's brilliant, Esme said, hugging me. You're brilliant. That evening, as I was leaving the office, I found a small package on my desk. Inside was an old photo album. A note from our receptionist explained she'd found it while cleaning out Christian's old office. The photos showed the company's early days. Christian and me, young and excited, building our dream together. Except it hadn't been our dream at all. It had been mine, and he'd been planning his escape all along. I pulled out my phone and opened my banking app. The first investor payment had cleared. Project Phoenix was officially funded. Alan, I called out. He appeared in my doorway. Call a staff meeting for tomorrow morning. It's time to tell everyone where we're heading. Already done. Oh, and Shiloh, you might want to see this. He handed me his tablet. On the screen was a job listing in Chicago. Christian's resume was posted publicly, seeking new opportunities. Karma works fast, Alan said with a slight smirk. I handed the tablet back. Not fast enough. But we're just getting started. That night, I didn't go home right away. Instead, I sat in my office, looking out at the Portland skyline, making plans. Christian and Kaya thought they were leaving me with nothing. They were about to learn just how wrong they were. 2 months into Project Phoenix, and the office was humming with energy I hadn't felt in years. Developers worked late into the night, not because they had to, but because they wanted to. The excitement was contagious. The beta testing results are in, Alan announced, bursting into my office one morning. They're better than we expected. I was reviewing the latest financial reports. Our stock had jumped 15% since announcing the project. How much better? The small clinics love it. They're asking when they can implement the full version. My phone lit up with a text from Esme. Turn on channel 8 now. I grabbed the remote and flipped on the office TV. There was Christian, being interviewed outside what looked like a courthouse in Chicago. Allegations of fraud are completely unfounded, he was saying, looking thinner and grayer than I remembered. These charges are merely a misunderstanding. Alan whistled low. Looks like his new venture isn't going so well. I turned up the volume as the reporter continued. Sources say investors lost over $2 million in what authorities are calling a sophisticated scheme. Should we be worried about this affecting us? Alan asked. No, I said, switching off the TV. We cut all ties. He has no connection to us anymore. My desk phone buzzed. Ms. Shiloh? There's a Patricia Olson here to see you. Mom never visited the office. Something was wrong. She burst in before I could respond, Alan tactfully closing the door behind her. Kaya called me, she said, dropping into a chair. She's desperate. They're broke, Shiloh. The fraud charges. Christian's legal fees. Not my problem. She's living in a motel. She asked to come home. I kept my voice steady. And what did you say? I told her she made her bed. Mom's eyes were steel. But she's still my daughter. I thought you should know. Before I could respond, Esme rushed in, tablet in hand. Sorry to interrupt, but you need to see this, now. She placed the tablet in front of me. On screen was an email from the largest healthcare provider in the Pacific Northwest. They wanted an exclusive meeting about Project Phoenix. They're interested in a partnership, Esme said, practically bouncing. This could triple our market reach overnight. Mom stood up, straightening her jacket. I'll let you work. Just think about what I said. After she left, Esme perched on my desk. Think about what? Nothing important. I focused on the email. When can we meet with them? Tomorrow morning. Their CEO is flying in specifically for this. The next day, I stood in front of our boardroom windows, watching a sleek corporate helicopter land on our building's helipad. Showtime. The meeting exceeded all expectations. Our presentation was flawless. The demos worked perfectly, and the healthcare CEO couldn't stop nodding. This is exactly what the industry needs, she said, signing the preliminary partnership agreement. Your vision is extraordinary. As we walked her back to the helipad, she turned to me. I have to ask, why didn't you develop this years ago? Your company had the capability. Sometimes you need to lose everything to see what's possible, I replied. Back in my office, celebrating with champagne, Alan handed me an envelope. This came by courier while we were in the meeting. Inside was a handwritten letter from Kaya. Sis, I know you probably hate me. You should. What we did was unforgivable. Christian isn't who I thought he was. He's changed. Or maybe this is who he always was. I'm scared, Shiloh. I made a terrible mistake. I crumpled the letter and threw it in the trash. Bad news? Esme asked. No news, I replied, pouring more champagne. Just the past trying to interfere with the future. That evening, as the office cleared out, Alan lingered in my doorway. The partnership announcement goes public tomorrow morning. Our stock is going to skyrocket. Good. Schedule a company-wide bonus. Everyone who stayed loyal deserves to share in this success. Already done, he paused. I heard about Christian, the fraud charges. Alan. Just saying, karma's a beautiful thing. I smiled, remembering Christian's face on the news. Yes, it is. My phone buzzed with another text from Mom. Kaya's back in Portland, staying at the Riverside Motel, room 116, just so you know. I deleted the message without responding. Let her stay there. Let her feel what it's like to lose everything. The city lights flickered on outside my window as dusk settled over Portland. Somewhere out there, my sister was probably crying in a cheap motel room while her world fell apart. Meanwhile, I was signing partnership deals worth millions. Ready to head out? Esme asked, coat in hand. I looked at my desk, at the partnership agreement, at everything I'd built from the ashes they'd left behind. Actually, I said, I think I'll stay a bit longer. Tomorrow's going to be a big day. 6 months after the healthcare partnership, I barely recognized our company. The office had expanded to 3 floors, our staff had doubled, and Project Phoenix was revolutionizing medical data management across the country. Portland Business Journal wants to do a cover story, Alan said, dropping the latest issue on my desk. They're calling you the Phoenix Queen, the woman who rose from betrayal to build an empire. Tell them no. Shiloh, you can't keep turning down press. The board can deal with it. I gestured to the stack of reports on my desk. Our numbers speak for themselves. My phone lit up. Esme, turn on your computer. Now. Video call. I clicked accept, and Esme's excited face filled my screen. You're never going to believe who just walked into my consulting firm looking for a job. Who? Christian. The name still had the power to make my stomach clench. What did you do? Told him we don't work with people under federal investigation. You should have seen his face when he recognized me. He looks terrible, by the way. That fancy suit of his. Definitely seen better days. A knock at my door interrupted us. Mom stood there, looking uncomfortable. I'll call you back, I told Esme, ending the call. Mom, what's wrong? She sat down heavily. I saw Kaya yesterday, at the grocery store. And? She's working there, stocking shelves. Mom twisted her hands in her lap. She tried to talk to me. I just walked away. Good. Is it? She's still my daughter, Shiloh. And she's suffering. She made her choice. She made a mistake. A terrible one, yes, but Alan burst in. Sorry to interrupt, but the Reuters article just dropped. We're trending nationwide. I pulled up the article on my screen. Software innovation transforms healthcare. How one woman's betrayal led to industry revolution. They're calling you an inspiration, Alan said proudly. The comments section is blowing up. Mom stood up. I can see you're busy. Just think about what I said. People can change. After she left, Alan lingered. Everything okay? Fine. What's next on the agenda? Board meeting in an hour. Quarterly projections are through the roof. Oh, and he hesitated. Christian's lawyer called. He wants to discuss a settlement. I laughed. For what? He's claiming partial ownership of Project Phoenix. Says the initial concept was his. Send them the dated documents proving otherwise. And Alan, make sure our lawyer reminds them about those fraud charges in Chicago. The board meeting was a triumph. Every projection exceeded expectations, and Project Phoenix was expanding faster than we could handle. We need to hire more developers, our CTO announced. The demand is overwhelming. Approved, I said. Whatever you need. Walking back to my office, I overheard 2 employees talking. Did you see who was in the lobby earlier? Christian. Security had to escort him out. No way. What did Shiloh do? She didn't even go down, just had security remove him. Ice cold. After what he did, he deserved it. I smiled, remembering the security footage I'd watched earlier. Christian, disheveled and desperate, trying to talk his way past reception. How the mighty had fallen. Esme called again that evening. Dinner? You need to get out of that office. Can't. Too much work. Shiloh, you're the talk of the tech world. You've won. Take a victory lap. This isn't about winning. No? Then what's it about? Before I could answer, my assistant buzzed in. Ms. Shiloh, there's a delivery for you. A large envelope sat on my desk. Inside was a magazine, Modern Bride. The subscription label showed Kaya's name, but her old address at my house. On the cover, a happy couple smiled beneath the headline, "Fresh Starts, Beginning Again After Betrayal." My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. "I see you're doing well. We should talk." See, I blocked the number and dropped the magazine in the shredder. "Actually," I told Esme, "dinner sounds good. Let's celebrate." At the restaurant, over expensive wine and better company, I finally felt the weight of success. Not just financial success, but the satisfaction of proving them wrong, of showing Christian and Kaya exactly what they'd walked away from. "To the Phoenix Queen," Esme toasted, raising her glass. "To Karma," I replied, clinking glasses. My phone buzzed one last time that night. "Mom, Kaya asked about you today. Said she sees your name everywhere. She's proud of you, despite everything." I turned off my phone. Tomorrow would bring more victories, more growth, more proof that their betrayal had been the best thing that ever happened to me. Let them watch from the sidelines. Let them see exactly what they lost. The morning everything changed started normally enough. I was reviewing acquisition proposals when Alan rushed in, his face pale. "Christian's been arrested." I looked up from my computer. "What?" "It's all over the news. The Chicago fraud charges stuck. They're saying he could face up to 15 years. Before I could respond, my phone rang. "Mom, have you seen?" she asked, her voice shaking. "Kaya's hysterical. She's been calling me non-stop." "What does she expect you to do?" "She needs money for his lawyer." "Good lawyers cost—" "No. Shiloh, please. Just talk to her. I have a meeting." I hung up, but my hands were trembling. Esme appeared in my doorway 20 minutes later. "You okay?" "I saw the news." "I'm fine. Why wouldn't I be?" "Because despite everything, you were married to him for 8 years. It's okay to feel something." A commotion outside interrupted us. Through the glass walls of my office, I saw security escorting someone through the lobby. "Kaya, please," I heard her crying. "Just 5 minutes. Shiloh, please." I stood up, my chair scraping against the floor. Before I could decide what to do, she broke free from security and burst into my office. "Get her out," I told security, but Esme held up her hand. "Give them a minute," she said quietly, ushering everyone out. Kaya looked terrible. Her designer clothes were replaced by worn jeans and a faded sweater. Dark circles shadowed her eyes. "You have 30 seconds, I said. "He's going to jail, Shiloh. Real jail. We have nothing left. He spent everything on lawyers. I'm working at a grocery store, living in a motel." "Sounds like karma to me." "I know we hurt you. What we did was unforgivable. But he's still your husband." "Ex-husband. He's facing 15 years. Tears streamed down her face. "Help us. Please. If not for him, then for me. I'm still your sister." "No," I said quietly. "You stopped being my sister the moment you chose him over me. I made a mistake. Is this what you want? To see us suffer? What I want is for you both to leave me alone, forever. You're enjoying this, aren't you?" Her voice turned bitter. "Perfect Shiloh, always so successful. You probably planned this somehow." I laughed. "Planned what? Christian's fraud? His terrible decisions? That was all him. And you chose to go down with him. He loves me." "Does he? Where is he now? Still in Chicago, leaving you to clean up his mess?" Security appeared at the door again. This time, I nodded. "Wait," Kaya called as they led her away. Mom said you used to read my bedtime stories when we were little, when I was scared of the dark. Do you remember?" I turned away, staring out the window. "Get her out." Later that evening, Alan brought in the daily reports. Stocks up another 12%. The arrest actually helped us. Shows were completely separated from his actions. Good. There's something else. He hesitated. Christian's lawyer sent over a proposal. He's willing to sign a statement clearing us of any connection to the fraud charges in exchange for what? Help with his legal fees and a job for Kaya. I started laughing and couldn't stop. The audacity. Should I tell them no? My phone buzzed. A text from Mom. Kaya's moving in with me. I couldn't leave her homeless. Please don't be angry. Another buzz. An unknown number. I know you hate us, but I'm begging you. Help him. I can't lose him. K. Shiloh. Alan was waiting for an answer. I thought about Kaya reading bedtime stories, about Christian's smile the day we opened the business, about how easily they'd thrown it all away. Tell them. I paused, something shifting inside me. Tell them I'll think about it. Really? No. I straightened my spine. Tell them exactly what Christian told me the day they left. Consider it a parting gift. After Alan left, I sat in my darkening office, watching the city lights come on. My phone kept buzzing with messages from Mom, from unknown numbers, from people trying to break through the walls I'd built. Esme's words echoed in my head. It's okay to feel something. But what was I feeling? Satisfaction? Revenge? Or something else? Something that felt uncomfortably like emptiness. A final text came through. Mom again. She's crying herself to sleep in your old bedroom. Just like when you were kids. Remember. I did remember. That's what hurt the most. My finger hovered over the reply button. Then I turned off my phone, gathered my things, and walked out into the night, leaving the ghosts of the past behind in my empty office. You're going to meet them? Esme nearly choked on her coffee. After everything, I stared at the email on my screen. Christian's lawyer had been persistent, and after 2 weeks of messages, I'd finally agreed to a meeting. Not for them, I said. For me. I need to look them in the eye one last time. Want me there? No, but stay close. The meeting was set for noon at my lawyer's office, neutral ground. I arrived early, watching through the window as a taxi pulled up. Christian stepped out first, handcuffed, accompanied by 2 officers. His designer suits were replaced by department store clearance. Kaya followed, clutching a manila envelope. Remember, my lawyer whispered as they were led in. Don't sign anything. Don't agree to anything. Christian looked older, grayer. Prison waiting had aged him years and months. Kaya wouldn't meet my eyes. Thank you for meeting us, Christian's lawyer began. Make it quick. Christian cleared his throat. Shiloh, I know we hurt you. Is that what you call it? I made mistakes, terrible mistakes, but there's something you need to know about Project Phoenix. I sat up straighter. What about it? The original concept. It wasn't entirely mine to abandon. Kaya finally looked at me. Show her. She slid the manila envelope across the table. Inside were old documents, dated 3 years ago. Project Phoenix proposals, but with a crucial difference. They had my signature on them. I don't understand, I said. You were sick that week, Christian said quietly. Food poisoning. You signed a bunch of documents from home without really reading them. I buried these ones. Why? Because Project Phoenix was your idea originally. You mentioned it at dinner one night. Revolutionizing healthcare data management. I took your idea, developed it in secret, then killed it because you were already planning to leave, I finished. If it had succeeded then, you would have gotten the credit. I couldn't let that happen. My lawyer leaned forward. Are you admitting to corporate sabotage? I'm admitting I was wrong, Christian said. About everything. The project, Kaya, you. Don't, I warned. Shiloh, Kaya spoke up. We're not asking for money anymore, or jobs. We needed you to know the truth. The truth, I laughed bitterly. The truth is you both betrayed me. The truth is you watched me suffer and walked away. The truth is I never deserved you, Christian interrupted. Either as a wife or a business partner, I was jealous of your vision, your drive. So I tried to destroy it. And when that didn't work, I tried to steal your sister's love instead. It wasn't love, Kaya said softly. It was rebellion, against always being the lesser sister, the screw-up. I wanted to take something that was yours, just once. Well, congratulations, you did. And look where it got us. She gestured to Christian's handcuffs. While you took my betrayal and turned it into an empire. Are we done here? I asked my lawyer. Actually, Christian's lawyer spoke up. We have a proposal. These documents prove Mr. Lewis committed corporate espionage. In exchange for not pressing charges, he's willing to make a full statement clearing your company of any connection to his fraud cases. I stood up. Keep your proposal. Keep your confession. Keep your guilt. I don't need any of it. Shiloh, wait. Kaya called as I reached the door. There's one more thing. About Mom. I turned back. What about her? She's sick. Really sick. She didn't want you to know because of everything happening with us, but she needs both her daughters right now. The room suddenly felt too small, too warm. She's been protecting you, Kaya continued, like you used to protect me. Remember? I did remember. I remembered everything. Bedtime stories, scraped knees, first heartbreaks. I remembered being a big sister. The officers need to transport Mr. Lewis back now, his lawyer said gently. I watched as they led Christian away, Kaya trailing behind them like a lost shadow. At the door, she turned back one last time. I miss my sister, she whispered. After they left, my lawyer gathered the documents. Do you want to pursue the corporate espionage angle? We'd have a strong case. I thought about Mom, sick and trying to protect everyone. About Kaya, broken but finally honest. About Christian, paying for his choices in ways I hadn't even planned. No, I said finally. I think karma's done enough damage already. My phone buzzed. Esme, you okay? I looked at the documents proving Project Phoenix had been mine all along. Proof I'd never needed, because deep down, I'd always known my own strength. I will be, I texted back. Then I called Mom. The hospital waiting room was too quiet. Mom's surgery was scheduled for 8, but I'd been here since 6, watching nurses rush past and families huddle in corners. Here, Esme handed me a coffee. Any word? Still in pre-op. I checked my phone. 3 missed calls from Kaya. Are you going to tell her you're here? Before I could answer, the elevator doors opened. Kaya stepped out, stopping short when she saw me. What are you doing here? She asked. Same as you. She's my mother, too. We sat on opposite ends of the waiting area, the silence heavy between us. A nurse approached with forms. Family of Patricia. I'm her daughter, we said simultaneously. The nurse looked between us. We need some medical history information. I'll do it. Kaya stood up. No, I interrupted. Mom's allergic to penicillin. You always forget that. Ladies, the nurse said firmly. Perhaps you could both help? Working together, we filled out Mom's forms. It was strange, sitting next to Kaya, our shoulders almost touching as we wrote. Like muscle memory, remembering how to be sisters. Christian's sentencing is next week, she said quietly, as the nurse left. I know. 5 years. They reduced it for cooperation. Good for him. I'm not going with him, she blurted out. When he gets out, we're not, Kaya. Family of Patricia. A doctor appeared, still in surgical scrubs. We both jumped up. The surgery was successful, but there were complications. She's asking for both of you. Mom looked small in the hospital bed, tubes and monitors everywhere. Her eyes lit up when we entered. My girls, she whispered. Together. Don't talk, Mom, I said, taking her hand. Need to. Her voice was raspy. Need you both to listen. Kaya took her other hand, and Mom squeezed our fingers together. Life's too short, she said. For hate, for regret. Promise me. Mom, please rest, Kaya pleaded. Promise me you'll try to be sisters again. The monitors beeped steadily as silence filled the room. Finally, I spoke. I can't promise that. Shiloh, Mom started. No, let me finish. I can't promise we'll be sisters again. But, I looked at Kaya, I can promise to try to forgive. Tears rolled down Kaya's cheeks. I don't deserve it. No, you don't. But Mom does. A nurse came in to check Mom's vitals, and we stepped into the hallway. Kaya wiped her eyes. I filed for divorce yesterday, she said. Christian doesn't know yet. Why are you telling me this? Because you were right, about everything. He didn't love me, he just wanted to hurt you. My phone buzzed. Alan, board meeting in an hour. Critical decisions needed. Go, Kaya said, reading my expression. I'll stay with her. I can't leave. Yes, you can. You built an empire. Go run it. I'll text you any updates. I hesitated at the elevator. Kaya? Yeah. Mom's allergic to morphine too. Don't forget to tell them. She nodded, a ghost of our old connection passing between us. The board meeting was tense. Our biggest competitor was making a move to acquire us. It's a generous offer, the CFO argued. It's not about money, I replied. It's about legacy, about building something that lasts. Like family, Alan whispered beside me. My phone lit up with a text from Kaya. Mom's awake, asking for you. Meeting adjourned, I announced. We're not selling, ever. Back at the hospital, I found Kaya in the cafeteria. Coffee? She offered. Thanks, I sat down. Remember when we were kids and Mom had her appendix out? We stayed in the waiting room all night. You were scared. You told me stories until I fell asleep. We sat in silence, sipping bad hospital coffee. I'm moving back to Seattle, she said finally. After Mom recovers, fresh start. Good. Shiloh, thank you for not pressing charges about Project Phoenix, for not destroying us completely when you could have. I didn't do it for you. I know, you did it for you, because you're stronger than both of us. My phone buzzed again. The competitor's final offer, even higher than before. Excuse me, I said, standing. I need to make a call. Go ahead. Kaya smiled sadly. You built something amazing from our betrayal. Don't let anyone take that from you. I walked to the window, looking out at the city where I'd lost everything and found myself. Behind me, my sister waited. In front of me, my empire beckoned. Sometimes the hardest part of winning isn't the victory itself. It's deciding what to do after you've won. The answer is still no, I told the board, closing my laptop with finality. We're not selling. Through my office window, I could see Mom walking in the garden of her rehabilitation center, Kaya steadying her arm. The autumn leaves were turning, matching Mom's new copper wig. My phone buzzed. Alan. Christian's sentencing is in an hour. Thought you should know. I grabbed my coat. Meeting adjourned. The courthouse was packed with reporters. I slipped in the back just as the judge began speaking. Christian stood at the front, shoulders slumped. Kaya wasn't there. 5 years, the judge announced, with possibility of parole after 3. As they led him away, Christian's eyes met mine. I didn't look away. He nodded once, understanding passing between us. Not forgiveness, but acknowledgement. An ending. My phone lit up. Kaya, Mom's asking for you. Says it's important. I found them in the garden. Mom looking stronger than she had in weeks. Sit. She patted the bench beside her. Both of you. Mom, if this is another attempt at... Quiet, Shiloh. Listen. She pulled out an old envelope. I found this while cleaning out the attic. It's from when you girls were little. Inside was a crayon drawing. 2 stick figures holding hands. Best sisters forever. Written in wobbly children's handwriting. Kaya drew this, Mom said. The day Shiloh defended her from bullies at school. Mom, please. I'm not finished. She pulled out another paper. And this is from last week. It was a news article about Project Phoenix, but with handwritten notes in the margins. Kaya's handwriting. She did it. She really did it. I'm so proud. You've been writing about me? I asked Kaya. She blushed. Every success, every milestone. I kept track of all of them. Why? Because you're still my sister, even when I didn't deserve to call you that. Mom took our hands, just like in the hospital. Life gave you both second chances. What you do with them is up to you. My phone buzzed. Esme, competitor's final deadline in an hour. Need your answer. Go, Mom said. But remember what matters. Back at the office, Alan was waiting with the contract. They've offered 20% above market value. It's unprecedented. I stared at the signature line, thinking about second chances, about choices. Call them, I said. To accept? To tell them I'm buying them instead. His jaw dropped. What? Project Phoenix isn't just software anymore. It's about healing, about fixing what's broken. I smiled. Tell them I'll give them 10% above their last offer, but we maintain controlling interest. That's brilliant. No, I said. That's karma. That evening I drove to Mom's rehab center one last time. She was moving home tomorrow, strong enough to manage on her own again. Kaya was packing Mom's things when I arrived. Seattle's going to be good for you, I said. How did you? Mom told me about the job offer, the fresh start. She folded a sweater carefully. I'm scared. Good, fear means you're growing. Like you did after we left. No, I sat down. I didn't grow because you left. I grew because I chose to. She nodded, understanding. The company, I saw the news about the acquisition. Congratulations. Thanks, I hesitated. You know, we're expanding to Seattle. Her hands stilled. Oh? The healthcare network there needs Project Phoenix. We'll need someone who knows the system. Someone looking for redemption. Shiloh. Entry-level position. No favors. You'll have to earn every promotion. Why? Because Mom's right. Life's too short for hate, but it's also too short for regret. I stood up. Think about it. As I turned to leave, she called out, "Hey, sis." I stopped. It was the first time she'd called me that since the betrayal. That drawing, Best Sisters Forever, I meant it then. I know. I looked back at her. Maybe someday we'll mean it again. Outside, the autumn wind scattered leaves across the parking lot. My phone buzzed with another message about the acquisition, but for once, I didn't check it immediately. Instead, I thought about a little girl drawing stick figures, about a woman tracking her sister's successes, even through shame, about a mother's love strong enough to bridge any divide. Sometimes the greatest victory isn't in destroying your enemies, but in choosing not to. Sometimes healing comes not from forgiveness, but from the willingness to try. I got in my car and drove toward tomorrow, leaving the past where it belonged, behind me, but not forgotten. Just forgiven enough to move forward.